Over 400 million naira has been approved as scholarship allowance for Zamfara State students studying abroad. Governor Matawale visit patients at Yerima Bakura Specialist Hospital. Former Deputy Governor urges Zamfara commissioners to support the poor. On business, federal government to sustain use of technology to enhance farm youths. On sports, Arsenal eliminated from Europa League. And on the international scene, Guinea-Bissau candidate swears himself in as new president. Welcome to Standard Voice Television News. I am Musa Joy Onyoza. Now the news in full. The Zamfara State government, under the leadership of Dr. Bello Matawale Maradun, has approved a sum of 433 million naira for scholarship of Zamfara State students studying in tertiary institutions abroad. The special advisor to Governor Bello Matawale on scholarship, Alhaji Lukman Meji Dadi, disclosed this at the government house at the commissioning of 50 students who will travel to Cyprus for studies. Alhaji Meji Dadi said 92 students are currently studying different courses in Cyprus. Among the courses are pharmacy, radiology, and engineering. The special advisor said another batch of 20 students will soon leave the country for China.
Today, this batch of students, we have 50 students out of the 92 that are scheduled to travel to Cyprus to study pharmacy, radiology, petrochemical engineering, amongst others, including architecture. 42 students arrived in Cyprus the day before yesterday. Currently, we have 66 students in Sudan. In India, we have 23 students. And then, with the backlog left are the 50 students that are left to complete Cyprus. So in Cyprus, we have a total of 92 students. 42 are currently in Cyprus, and due to visa issues, the remaining 50 are still waiting. So that as soon as their visas have been completed and we have all of them, we will now go together with them to go and deliver them to their schools safely.
In his remark, Governor Bello Matawale, who was represented by the Secretary to the State Government, Alhaji Bala Bello Maru, urged the students to be good ambassadors of Nigeria and Zamfara State. Alhaji Bello Bala Maru also advised them to work very hard and come back with a good result. The SSG further called on the students to continue praying for the state to continue enjoying peace and development.
And to inform you that His Excellency is confident that you will be good ambassadors of Zamfara State. He is confident that you will work very hard so that you come back with very good results so that we can be proud of you, so that you can contribute your quota to the development of Zamfara State and Nigeria in general. You should remember that even in Cyprus, His Excellency counts on your prayers for Zamfara State. So it is our fervent hope that you will continue to pray in Cyprus. You will continue to pray for the peace and development of Zamfara State.
Two of the students who represented their colleagues, Hafsat Hassan and Bashir Ibrahim, promised to be good ambassadors of Nigeria and Zamfara State during their stay in Cyprus and prayed for peace and tranquility to prevail in Zamfara State and the country in general.
I, Hafsat Hassan, on behalf of the prospective student, extend a hearty vote of thanks to His Excellency for sponsoring our education. I must also mention my deep sense of appreciation to all the stakeholders that participated on the success of this program today. Thank you.
Zamfara State Executive Governor Dr. Bello Matawale Maradun again demonstrated his concern and total sympathy to his people when he visited one of his cameramen Mukhtar Ismail, who is on admission at the Accident and Emergency Ward of the Yerima Bakura Specialist Hospital, Gusau, where he greeted him and prayed for his quick recovery. He also encouraged the cameraman to consider the sickness as a test from Almighty Allah and that he will recover. Governor Matawale later visited the main medical ward where he greeted the former Gusau Local Government Council Chairman Abdulkadir Abdullahi Gaula, who is also on a sick bed and directed for his referral to a teaching hospital for more medical attention, saying that the state government will shoulder all the medical expenses. The governor also gave all the patients in the 3 wards of male medical, maternity and accident and emergency medical assistance ranging from 50,000 naira to 100,000 naira and 200,000 naira, all totaling to 9.6 million naira. The governor added that his administration will not forget the people in their times of need, pains and distress. Governor Matawale also lauded the hospital staff for their dedication to duty and the professionalism they are exhibiting on the patients and urged them to sustain it. The governor was accompanied by 2 former deputy governors, Malam Ibrahim Wakala Mohammed and Mukhtar Ahmed Anka, PDP State Chairman Alhaji Ibrahim Malaha Gusau, DG Matawale Campaign Council Comrade Jamilu Aliu Zana, and the Commissioner Special Duties Alhaji Mohammed Meturare Sadiq. The immediate past Deputy Governor of Zamfara State, Malam Ibrahim Wakala, has urged commissioners, lawmakers, and other appointees of Governor Bello Matawale to support the poor so as to ameliorate their suffering. Alhaji Wakala made a call in Gusau at the presentation of cash assistance to beneficiaries of Women Empowerment Training Project, a program sponsored by Alisuna Wal Jama'a Youth Preaching, a non-governmental organization. The former deputy governor emphasized the need for government appointees to extend support to various categories of the needy to improve their living standards. Alhaji Wakala thanked the organizers of the program and urged them not to relent in their effort towards supporting youth and women in the society. The Commissioner for Women and Children Affairs, Hajia Zainab Gumi, in a remark, appealed to the beneficiaries to judiciously utilize both the financial support and skills acquired to enhance their living standards. Hajia Aisha Gumi reiterated the commitment of the ministry to partner with the non-governmental organizations, CSOs, and well-meaning individuals to create various opportunities for women empowerment and child development. In his remark, the senior district heads of Gusau, Alhaji Dambaba, commended the organization for the training and provision of empowerment and cash to the beneficiaries. Alhaji Dambaba urged well-meaning individuals and political office holders to emulate the youth organization by supporting the women in the society. Earlier, the chairman of the committee, Malam Nazir Buddha, had said that 100 women had graduated from the project and had been supported with cash to start up small-scale businesses. Alhaji Buddha said that the training was aimed at complementing the state government effort towards engaging unemployed youth and women. He said that the project will also aim at tackling social and domestic violence in the society. The Nigerian government has confirmed its first case of coronavirus, officially known as COVID-19, in Lagos late Thursday evening. According to a statement by the Minister of Health, Osagi Ehanire, the patient is an Italian citizen who entered Nigeria on the 25th of February 2019 from Milan, Italy, for a brief business visit. He advised that citizens must not abuse social media and indulge in spreading misinformation that may cause fear and panic. The minister promised that the Ministry of Health, through the Nigerian Center for Disease Control, will continue to provide updates and will initiate all measures required to prevent the spread of any outbreak in Nigeria. More than 2,800 people have died globally and over 83,000 have been infected. In January, the World Health Organization, WHO, declared the outbreak a public health emergency of international concern. It is important to know what to do with regard to prevention and protection against the deadly virus. According to the United States Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, symptoms of COVID-19 may appear in as few as 2 days or as long as 14 days after exposure. The chairman of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Governor Aminu Waziri Tambuwal of Sokoto State, has reiterated the need for the party to adhere to the principle of fair play in its forthcoming primaries and all future political competitions. Governor Tambuwal was speaking at the 89th session of the party's National Executive Council meeting held in Abuja on Thursday. On the same occasion, Governor Tambuwal received accolades from the chairman of the party's Board of Trustees, Senator Walid Jibril, who described his ascension to the position of the chairman of the PDP-GF as a good omen to the party. He noted that as the party is known as that of Democrats who have stuck to their guns and demonstrated fairness, equity, and good conscience as it was shown in the last primary in Port Harcourt, we must not fail to do what is right. He reiterated that the unity of the party is also sacrosanct in the march towards its quest to reclaim the leadership of the country in the future. In his remarks, the board chairman, Senator Jibril, applauded the effort made by Governor Aminu Waziri Tambuwal to ensure that the party is more cohesive since he was elected as the chairman of the Party Governors Forum. President Muhammadu Buhari on Thursday in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory, expressed the willingness of the federal government to partner with relevant stakeholders towards achieving a transparent national second peer review process of the African Peer Review Mechanism, APRM. Receiving a team from AU-APRM led by Senator Abba Ali, the chairman, National Governing Council, APRM Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari pledged that Nigeria, through the APRM, Nigeria Secretariat will organize a participatory and transparent national process for self-assessment and country review. The president said the federal government will partner with state, local governments, and the private sector in the process aimed at entrenching good governance, democracy, and inclusive development among participating African countries. He said Nigeria will also provide all the necessary and required support to the country secretariat of the APRM in accordance with the recommendation of the Forum of Heads of State and Government of the AU. President Buhari welcomed the remarks of the leader of the delegation, acknowledging Nigeria's significant progress in the ideals and shared values of good governance and accountability, which are at the heart of the APRM. Since its inception, this government has further pursued with vigor programs that promote democratic values, participatory governance, and probity in public life. They introduced policies, programs, and projects that focus on creating an inclusive and diversified economy, eliminating corruption, and restoring peace to conflict areas. Since the decision to establish the African Union Development Agency, AUDA, here in Nigeria, government has been implementing programs and policies that focus on the domestication of the AUDA reforms. He said since the repositioning committee on AUDA was constituted, its terms of reference are to restructure and reposition NEPAD, taking into account the local laws and regulations to AUDA. The president added that pertinent to the current mission to Nigeria and in accordance with the guidelines of the peer review, a 15-member Nigeria National Governing Council of the APRM has been constituted and inaugurated. In his remarks, Senator Ali said the second review process has commenced in Nigeria and will be concluded in August. According to the NGC chairman, the APRM has 4 thematic areas, namely democracy and political governance, economic governance and management, corporate governance, and socio-economic development. In her remarks, the lead panel member in charge of Nigeria, Ambassador Omar Mona of Egypt, said since the first review in 2008, Nigeria has submitted 2 progress reports on the implementation of the National Action Plan, paving the way for the preparation of the second cycle of the review. A High Court sitting in Lokoja, Kogi State, has ruled that the People's Democratic Party had no candidate in the November 16 governorship election in the state. Justice John Olorufemi of the State High Court 4 in a ruling declared that the primary election conducted on September 3, 2019, which produced Engineer Musa Wada as the candidate of the PDP, was fraught with irregularities. The ruling was in a pre-election matter filed by the elder son of a former governor of the state, Ibrahim Idris Abubakar, challenging the candidature of Engineer Musa Wada for PDP in the November 16, 2019 governorship election. The judge said neither the claimant, Alhaji Abubakar Idris, nor the defendant, Engineer Musa Wada, can lay claim to being the authentic candidate of the People's Democratic Party since the primary was inconclusive. He pointed out that the claimant, who averred that he would have won the primary conducted by the first defendant if the missing votes belonging to him were added to his vote, could not also convince the court to deliver judgment in his favor. Kano State Governor Abdullahi Omar Ganduje has revealed that the state would engage 50 constabulary personnel in each of the 44 local government areas of the state, that is, 2,200 in Titu, which would be trained, guided, and monitored by the security agencies. He made this known at the groundbreaking ceremony to lay the foundation of the military training at Falgore Forest, Tudunwada local government area in Kano State. According to a statement issued by the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Amba Onwar, and sent to Solace Base on Thursday, said Governor Ganduje conducted a foundation laying in the presence of the Minister of Defense, General Bashir Salihi Magashi, retired, representative of the Chief of Army Staff, General Officer Commanding 1 Division, commanders of military formations, and other very senior military officers. He disclosed that to further improve the security system with the inclusion of community people, they are going to introduce 50 constables in each of the 44 local government areas of the state. A size of 2,169 hectares of land is provided by the state government in the forest for the construction of a military facility that would consist of auditorium, dining, officers and soldiers' quarters, and shooting range. It will also promote the economic activities of the general area of the forest and its environs, as a departure from the past experiences when criminals were having field day. According to the statement, Governor Ganduje said when Falgore Forest was being used by kidnappers, armed robbers, and criminals, he requested President Muhammadu Buhari to give permission for the establishment of a military training ground, a request he accepted graciously. Defense Minister Magashi commended the effort of the state government, commending Governor Ganduje of Kano State for his effort in improving the security of the state. Alhaji Magashi commended President Buhari earlier for providing the good atmosphere for the project, saying mere words can never be enough to thank President Buhari and Governor Ganduje. The Defense Minister assured that they will make good use of the military training center. The representative of the Speaker, House of Representative Femi Bajabiamila, and the House Majority Leader Al-Hassan Adodogua said the Green Chamber was solidly behind the state government effort in securing the state and conveyed the solidarity of the Speaker of the House. We'll be right back after this short commercial break. Stay tuned. Welcome back on Business. Jamima Samuel has small detail.
Thank you and welcome to Business Desk. President Muhammadu Buhari on Thursday in Abuja pledged that the federal government will sustain deployment of geographic information service and other similar technologies to help farmers achieve increased production. The president made this known when he received a delegation of the Surveyors Council of Nigeria, led by the president of the International Federation of Surveyors, Professor Rudolph Stager. He expressed delight that many states in Nigeria are adopting GIS for both urban and rural development, noting that the federal government was also on track in using similar technologies to support farmers to increase their yields. President Buhari said his administration will continue to work with members of the Svtv and geoinformatics profession to provide quality infrastructures that will bring prosperity to Nigerians. The government in past 5 years has embarked on critical infrastructure development and rehabilitation projects across the country. He said the administration is designing and building roads, bridges, rail tracks, airports, and affordable housing all over the country, and they are making use of surveyors, engineers, and town planners to achieve their desired goal. He expressed confidence that 344 new surveyors inducted into the register of the Surveyors Council of Nigeria will be very busy in the coming years. The president also used the occasion to recognize the rules and numerous contributions of members of the profession to national development, pointing to the design and development of the Federal Capital Territory. The president of the International Federation of Surveyors added that the association was proud to be associated with the Nigerian leaders and his administration's determination to revive Nigeria. Still on the business news, the Naira has been tipped to depreciate by 10% and 20% next year as the impact of falling crude oil price and foreign exchange reserves persist. Local and foreign analysts predicted that a decline by 10% would take the Naira to about 400 to $1, while a 20% drop would see it at around 450 Naira to $1. According to Bloomberg survey of investors, the local currency may be marked down up to 20% in 2021. According to the survey, the drop in foreign reserve and lower oil price will probably force the Central Bank of Nigeria to devalue Naira, seen as one of the world's most stable currency, by next year. The continuous stability of the Naira against dollar has continued to spark speculations, with many analysts predicting that the local currency will sooner or later be devalued. The Bloomberg survey of investors and analysts showed that 10 out of 19 respondents expect Naira to be weakened next year, while 5 predict a markdown as early as the second half of this year. The remainder believes that CBN will keep a firm grip on currency until 2022 to 2023. The CBN has instituted several policies to defend Naira, including restricting importers' access to dollars and stepping up the sale of high-yielding debt to attract inflow from portfolio investors. The CBN has also backed the government's closure of some land borders designed to stop smuggling of food and other foreign goods. Most respondents say Nigerians cannot keep defending and sustaining Naira stability beyond 2021. All but 4 of the survey participants said Naira is more than 10% overvalued against the dollar, while 2 respondents said it was at least 20% too strong. And that's all we have on Business Desk today. I am Jemima Samuel.
On sports, Sufyan Abubakar has more detail.
Hello, welcome to Standard Voice Television Sports Room. I'm Abu Sufyan Abubakar, and as usual, I bring the sport updates. Arsenal FC has been eliminated from this year's Europa League after losing at home to Olympiacos on Thursday night. Arsenal defeated Olympiacos in Greece last weekend but failed to capitalize on the lead after falling at home to the Greek giants. The first half of the game ended 0-0, but minutes into the second half, Cisse scored a header after a Matthew Valbuena's corner kick. The regular time of the match, 90 minutes, ended 0-0, and then the match progressed into extra time. The first half of the extra time was silent, and deep into the second half of the extra time, in the 116th minute, Arsenal captain Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang scored an acrobatic goal, which seems to be Arsenal's ticket to the round of 16. But in the final minute of the game, Karim El Arabi scored a tap-in to secure progression for the Greek side. Another Europa League match played on the same day, Manchester United defeated Club Brugge 5-0 after playing a 1-1 draw in Belgium earlier last week. New boy Bruno Fernandes scored the penalty as he did last weekend in the EPL, which was the opening goal of the game, before Odion Ighalo scored on his field debut for Manchester United. McTominay scored also after returning from injury. Brazilian midfielder Fred scored the remaining 2 goals for Manchester United. Among the teams to have progressed to the next round of the Europa League round of 16 tie, Copenhagen, Glasgow Rangers and Benfica have all qualified to the next round of the game. And that's all we have on sports today. Back to the newsroom.
And on the international scene, Umaru Sissoko Embalo sworn himself in as the new president of Guinea-Bissau on Thursday, defying a bitter ongoing row about the outcome of the December 29th election. He sworn himself to defend the constitution, to respect it, and have it respected. Mr. Embalo made the pronouncement before a crowd at an upscale hotel in the West African state capital, Bissau. The ceremony took place despite a continuing legal and political battle over the official result. Defeated candidate Domingos Pereira has filed a suit at the Supreme Court. Still on the international scene, President Muhammadu Buhari has assured that the relationship between Nigeria and Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic is strong and will remain so. The president spoke on Friday at the State House, Abuja, while receiving a farewell audience of the ambassador of SADR, Melanin Sadiq Bachir, who has completed his tour of duty in Nigeria. President Muhammadu Buhari congratulated the ambassador on his successful stay in Nigeria, during which the relationship between the two countries were further strengthened. The outgoing ambassador said he had a very good experience serving in Nigeria, during which time the bilateral relationship between the two countries improved greatly. The ambassador assured that he would continue to collaborate with the country for further mutual benefit. That has been the news from Standard Voice Television. To end the news, a quick look at the major headlines. Over 400 million naira has been approved as scholarship allowance for Zamfara State students studying abroad. Governor Matawale visit patients at Yerima Bakura Specialist Hospital. Former Deputy Governor urges Zamfara commissioners to support the poor. On business, federal government to sustain use of technology to enhance farm yields. On sports, Arsenal eliminated from Europa League. And on the international scene, Guinea-Bissau candidate swears himself in as new president. That's the news on behalf of the production crew and the head of News and Current Affairs Department, Alhaji Ibrahim Garobatunau. I still remain Musa Joy Onyoda. Stay tuned.